Hey YouTube, Kiratwig here, bringing you all my Yu-Gi-Oh! Band Binder collection video for March 2019. Wanted to show all of you this binder for quite some time now, and I actually asked a few of you if you'd be interested in seeing this binder in an upcoming video, and a lot of you actually wanted to see just all that I collected for banned Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I've been doing it for a couple years now. I thought it would just be cool to save up banned Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I know a lot of people do it, and just with the hopes that it'll one day come off the list and, obviously jump up in value, make good trade bait, etc. So got a good amount of the binder you see here filled out with banned cards that I've collected up. Hoping to, completely fill it out. I think it's about 3/4 of the way filled with banned cards. So let's go ahead and just get started. I'll just show all the cards, give a little detail about when I acquired them, what ban list, and so on. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So on the first page, some of the cards that I really hope we one day see off of the ban list. I've been a big fan of number 16 Shockmaster for quite some time now. It's one of my favorite number monsters, and also just loved using it in the Watt family deck originally. Just such an easy card to exceed summon into and shut down your opponent. I received the Shonen Jump promo ones when they originally came out. A few were a subscriber during the time. There was also a mishap with Shockmaster, I do believe, in which everyone received 2 Shockmasters, so it was great because, just more usable than for everyone having 2, or even just being able to trade one off and then use one that way. But sadly, the card, being able to restrict a type of Yu-Gi-Oh card, quickly put on the ban list, and I gathered up as many as I could. Had a good number of them, moved a couple to people that wanted them, just in case, it ever came off the list themselves. But I figured, having 6 was plenty to hold on to. If, ever comes off, I still have my original Shonen Jump, which I'll hold on to, and then I'll trade away the supers. I don't think I'd see it come off to more than 1, obviously, otherwise. Some of the other cards, Lava Vault Chain. Now, when Dual Terminal came out, I was a big fan of just playing for the Dual Terminal. I was able to get the Dual Terminal ones you see here from the machine, so held on to those ones, moved plenty of secrets and gold rares when the card was still off of the ban list, being a Foolish Burial and just a, place on top of deck kind of card. I can see why this was also one of the Exceed monsters that was, chosen to be banned, along with Daigusto and Morale. Have a good number of them. I'll hold on to my, Dual Terminal one, obviously, then have the other ones for trade. I got 2 Dual Terminal, like I said already. But it is one, because I'm a big fan of the Dual Terminal storyline, that I would love to see off of the ban list one day. Some other cards you can see on these pages. I only had 1 Daigusto and Morale at the time when it got banned. Never was really able to pick up any more after that. But a lot of people just prefer to hold on to their copies. Now, one I really want to see come off the ban list is Wind-Up Carrier Zenmaity. Wind-Ups really do need some love, and I think, Zenmaity to 1 would be perfectly justifiable for an upcoming ban list. We've had Insectors, Shadalls come off. I think, if they move around some of the Wind-Up cards, if they're really so worried about the hand trap issues that the deck can do, they can, move some of the other numbers and bring Zenmaity back to us. It just would be so much more helpful having this card to use with the new Link monster that they received. Ones that I'm not, too unhappy that they got hit on the ban list are the Zodiacs. I have plenty of Dridents and Broad Bulls. I think I have some later on in the binder as well that I've just held on to. They were in my trade binders, but after both of them got hit, I moved them to these binders. If they ever do come off the list, I'll be ready to trade them off. But like I said, was very, very happy when these cards got hit. I didn't really enjoy playing against Zodiacs too much at locals at the time. But like I said, I have actually one friend who's collected a whole binder of Broad Bulls. I have a couple myself saved. I think he's been able to, just gather up everyone's at our locals and all around the area. But, holding on to these couple myself just to see what the prices do become of this card if they ever do come off the list. Some other ones, some Link monsters that actually have been hit. Gumblar, very recently, off of the ban list. I decided just to put the 1 copy I had. I don't think I have any of the other ones in any of my trade binders, so just held on to This card, Stellar Diamond and Ptolemaeus, also other ones. I think they were big parts of just, finishers and decks, so that's why they were taken off the list. Nightmare Goblin, with the whole Nightmare lineup, was just completely unfair for some of the plays you can do with it, so I think this might have been one of the first Link monsters banned. Yeah, it did come before Firewall, I don't know what I'm talking about, but I had one that I used myself. There were some actual Fire Fist plays that I would have loved to have tried out if we ever had gotten more of the support beforehand with Goblin, but sadly it was hit before any other cards could come out. Norden, this one I actually used a good amount, and I think it was due to Zodiac that this card was also hit. I was also a big fan of Pendulum Magicians, so I collected up some of the plush fires and played them. Even had some 4-in-1s, which I think I've moved a couple of the 4-in-1s. I still have one left here and 2 English ones. I can't recall if I have any more, plush fires. But with the monkey boards, now a lot of people say we can get this card back to 1, and I agree in a sense with just all the different search cards we have now. 1 monkey board wouldn't be too bad for Perform Pal decks. Other cards here, if you've seen from my recent Pendulum Evolution booster box opening, I have a good amount of Double Iris stored up. These are actually ones that I had before the booster box opening. I just didn't organize the binder too much together. There are some cards scattered all over just because of the fact that I'm always, taking out cards, whether if they come off the ban list, re-added on, you name it. So I just figured, place them, keep them as neatly organized as I can, but moving around too much, I'll just end up having to change them again later on. So I just decided to keep these double irises where they are for the moment. Kieran, now this one, another, bounce effect that was abused with Pendulum decks. I think it's actually been on the ban list for a good while now. Same with Skullcrobat Joker. This is one I see people say if anything for Pendulum Magicians can come off, we can at least get 1 Skullcrobat Joker, just for the fact that, cards like Lady Debug are running full power, and being a normal summon card for its use, I don't think it would see too much abuse just being at 1 for the Pendulum Magician deck. Gofu, the fact, when Links just first came out, this card was heavily used just for the easy links. That grass looks greener. I have 2 of these. I have a 3rd one somewhere. I have no clue where I ended up putting it, but hopefully I can find it because I would like to have a play set just in case, you never know. This card is at 3 in Duel Links, one of my favorite cards to use just for a bunch of different fun decks, including Gem Knights, but that list doesn't affect the actual TCG play at all. Maxi, I think these are my only 2 Maxis currently. Here's the other 4-in plush fire. See how I said things are just all scattered throughout the binder, but I try to keep them as neatly organized as possible. Now this Grand Soil right here, the only reason I kept this Grand Soil in here is because it is the original text. I've been using the special edition ones in any of the decks I play, so just kept this one in here for now. Normally when a card comes off the ban list, I immediately remove it from the binder to put back into the trade binder. For some other ones, this is one that literally came out of a good majority of my deck, and you're going to see in a lot of the pages later on in the book are Soul Charge. Probably got at least 15 Soul Charges. I've just all threw them all into here. It happened before with like Solemn Judgment. When that card got banned, it all went in the book. When it got unbanned, they all went out of the book and into my staple binder. So a lot of movement, a lot of adding goes with each ban list for sure. Now, ones, E-Dragons, I've got plenty of those saved up. A couple foil ones, a couple rares. I think the Redox are all rare in here. A couple secrets of the Blasters, Titles, Tempests, you name it. I don't know if we'll ever see these off the list. I think we have like some mythical dragons in Rising Rampage coming out. I don't know if there'll be too much assistance, but or just more, justification not to have those cards come off the ban list. We'll have to wait and see. Denglong, I played Yang Zings so much before Link format, so it's pretty sad to see this card go, but I definitely saw why it needed to go. Now these pages have some remaining E-Dragons, some other smaller staples. I had plenty of Heavy Storms that I just hold on to, a good number of foil ones as well that I've just pulled from either, like legendary collections, old packs that I had when I was a kid that I've, been actually able to keep in pretty decent condition that you can see here, if you can just see carefully. But other than that, I don't know if we'll get Giant Trunade or Heavy Storm off the list beforehand, but I always like to keep at least a couple copies of the card, you know, in case something ever happens. Same with Pot of Avarice. I had an ultimate rare version. I have no clue where it went off to. I've got the 2 golds and a common version. If I do find that ulti, it's going to go right front and center in this band binder, because I think it was one of the rare cards that I did have for this binder. Same with a Pot of Greed. I think I actually traded the Pot of Greed away just for someone for a pretty good value. Chicken Game, I don't think this was off the ban list for too long before it actually went on when it came out. It was definitely abused card. Same with Card of Safe Return. This is actually a Hobby League one that I was able to pick up. I think I actually found it in a bulk collection after I picked up that collection. So Vanity's Emptiness, this is the same as Soul Charge. I had a good number of Vanities that just, you know, were, you know, thrown into this binder after that got hit. More titles on these pages, and Spellbook of Judgment. Now, I know a lot of Spellbook players that want to see this card come off of the ban list just for the fact that it adds so much to the Spellbook deck. Will we actually see it? I don't know. I myself want to rebuild Spellbook, so I would love to see it off the list one day, hopefully. Ultimate Offerings, I've got dual terminal versions, common versions, you name it, saved up. Same with Return from the Different Dimension. When I played Lavels, I loved using this card just for all the banished Laval cards to come back onto the field for me to reuse. With Naturias, when I first started, again, when Duelist Revolution was out, I played Royal Oppression in my Naturia deck. The card was way too good, comboed with Bamboo Shoot. This was actually my only copy that I have. I think I have a couple other versions in some of my smaller binders, but I really only like to keep, you know, mint condition cards in my band book, so this is the only one that I have in here. More Vanity's Emptiness, another additional room for the Gofu. Sixth Sense. This card I, you know, ended up grabbing after it got banned off of the ban list, so I grabbed a few copies and saved it. I don't think it's ever going to come off the list. If it does, it might have an errata, but other than that. Substitutes, I was going through some rare tins, found those, thought I'd throw them in. Same with the Mind Master. Invoker, was so sad to see this go, mostly because of X-Sabers. Usually when there's a banned card in here that was abused from other decks, the reason I'm more upset about it is because I used the actual deck that it was meant for. We got more Skullcrobat Jokers on these pages, and more Soul Charges, Dandelions. I played these in so many plant decks, but when it got hit, it went into the binder. The one thing I don't have in too many of these are Level Eaters. They're around. I just gotta find them and add them to the book. Sometimes I forget cards are banned, and I forget to put them in the book. I have my 2 Firewall Dragons, one that I kept in Cybers, one that I used for other decks, gone into the book. When Firewall Exceed Dragon comes out, I'm very curious to see what they'll do with this card. If anything, I really doubt they'll remove it off the list without an errata, just for that card solely. But, you know, hopefully we'll see something that'll be a little more playable with that card. Original Fool, Premature Burial. There is another Oppression here. I can't remember if this one is mint condition or not. Another Denlong. I put the Grinder Golems that I had extra from my trade binder into here when it got banned. I never really played the card in any other decks. This Confiscation was actually, I found it at a friend's house and they traded it to me from Magic Ruler. Some other ones, more Plush Fires that I just gathered up. Jin, played this in Necros before it got banned. I think I got the Painful Choice from the exact same guy I got the Confiscation from. Magical, these were actually in my Gem Knight deck. It was more of a more recent ban list edition, so took those out to save. They're actually the only copies I had, which is why I also decided to put them in. More Ultimate Offerings, just common versions. Now all these Harpy Feather Dusters are from the battle packs, which I just put into the book until I can, you know, maybe find some secret rare versions from the World Championship video games. As you can see, bigger trend here, more Soul Charge. I don't have too many Kaiser Colosseums. I actually moved a lot of them before they got banned. The Snatch and Steals went back in after that one format when it was off the list. More Heavy Storms on these pages as well. Same with the Giant Trunades and the Card of Safe Returns just being commons from different structure decks. Same with the additional Heavy Storms here, the Snatch and Steals, Giant Trunade. I want to find some hollow Graceful Charities to add to this binder. I don't think it's ever going to come off the list, but I always used to at least have a couple cards that are banned in this binder that are well known. More Jins, Trap Dust Shoots. I did my best to just, you know, keep everything as neatly organized as I said before. Card-wise, more returns, Ultimate Offerings, Pot of Greed. just every so often in the book. And this is the last page, the most recent cards added. I moved all the astrograph sorcerers I had together on one page. I think I pulled 5 from my recent box, and I had 4 saved already from the original playset I used and 1 additional one. And then these were the double iris magicians that I pulled from the box as well. And lastly, just extra room here. I know I have more Supreme, King, Dragon, Starving Venoms around. I just have 2 in the book. They were the ones I used in my Pendulum Magician deck before the card got banned. But that is it for the video. I hope you all enjoyed. I definitely enjoyed just going through the whole band binder, showing you all the cards I have, and I hope you enjoyed looking at it too. If you all have any band cards that you save up that you have, hope to one day either come off the ban list or you're just holding them for future investment, definitely comment down below what your collection looks like. And until next time, that's it for the video. Please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kiratwig out.